Lesson 4, getting an agent. Having an agent represent you is not a must when you first start out. And in fact, you won't probably be able to secure one. But at some point, if you really want to work on a TV series you love or one that's not yet created and you want to be in the future, or a movie, you will pretty much have to have an agent. No one in casting is going to, at that level, is going to take you seriously if you do not have an agent. And in some places like California, it's a requirement. It's the law. Only an agent can negotiate a contract for you for a role in a high-end production. So you will have to get an agent at some point, and this is about how you go about getting one. So in today's world, the agents want you to submit your headshot and your resume, of course, and also usually a demo reel. The demo reel consists of clips of you acting in various projects to show them what you're capable of. Now, if you've landed some small projects like a student film or a short film or an independent movie or a web series that somebody's putting together, that's great. And you want to compile the footage that you have into a small thing called a demo reel, which should not be longer than 3 minutes. That's the rule on that. But if you don't have that footage yet, say you've done some of those and you do have those credits and they're real and they're even on IMDb, which is a place where all credits are verified, and most people will look at your IMDb profile to, verify who you are and what you've done. So if they're on IMDb, you have a profile there, you've done some projects, but you don't have any footage. What you can do instead is submit a self-tape to an agent. Show them what you're capable of. Because in all honesty, they have to have certainty that you can do a self-tape, because that's how almost every role, auditioning for any role, happens now. It's a self-tape first. So if they are confident that you can do a really good self-tape, they will confidently put you forward and therefore may consider you for their roster. Now, there are many factors to an agent taking you on. One is your skill level, of course. They want to see, do you have experience? Are you any good at what you're doing? What do you move and sound like? All of that. If they can envision you getting roles, that will be of interest to them. But that may not be the only thing they look at. They also have to look at their own roster. And if they've been in business a while, they have a roster and they have people in your category probably. What they call category is kind of like your age and your gender and the way you come across, like good guy, bad guy, stuff like that. More complicated than that, but something like that. So agents think in terms of categories. And so if they have, like, let's say 3 or 4 actors in your category, they may not want to take you even though you're really good, because they already have these clients, they're signed on with them, they have an agreement, and now they may not be having success at getting them a lot of work, and they want to get their roster work. If they add you to the roster, you're now number 4 or 5. You're like competition within their own roster. They just may refuse you based on that. So you can't take it personally. Oh, nobody wants me because I'm not any good. Don't go down that road, because that's not real. Realities are a little different, and often it has to do with, do they need someone like you on their roster? Maybe 3 of those guys quit and went somewhere else, or they changed jobs, or they don't want to act anymore, or they're now directors and producers, or who knows what. So now they have a void in that category, and you just happen to send in your application or request to be represented by them at the right time, and they're willing to engage with you. So they want to talk to you. They want to probably do a Zoom call or something like that, or even see you in person. If they're interested in the materials that you've sent and they feel you would be a good fit on their roster, then of course they'll offer you a chance to be on their roster. They'll say, yeah, we'd like to sign a contract with you. And usually it's about a year-long contract. saying what they'll do for you. They'll submit you to different productions, projects as they call them, and then they want a percentage of what you get as an actor. So if you book a job and you get a certain amount of pay, they will want 10% in the United States, and in Canada it's 15%, and I don't know what it is elsewhere, but it should be in that range, and that should not change, and that's the only money they should get from you. I do believe that agents can charge you a small sign-up fee legally, but that's not normally done by a credible agent. So where do you find a credible agent? This is another story. There are many out there who are more like in the modeling category, and they often get models into commercials, so they tell you that they are acting agents, but not really. Also, they have you sign up for large amounts of money and so on. No agent will ask you for money. So to find a credible one, I recommend you go to the local acting union website for your area, because they usually have an office in different states or provinces or wherever you live. And that office will list the local agents that are credible. That doesn't mean they're all a good fit for you, but it does mean that they're not trying to charge you big money just to get you on the roster and tell you things like, oh yeah, they represent Tom Cruise. I had one guy tell me that once. Unbelievable. And he clearly didn't. He was in Vancouver, at the time. So yeah, you didn't represent Tom Cruise. So you got to watch it. There are these really scammers out there that take advantage of brand new actors like yourself who want to get an agent and feel like an agent's going to make their career. So let's talk about that now. Not scammers. About agents making your career. They actually don't. What an agent does is they have access to people and knowledge about various roles, upcoming roles. They can get you auditions or try to get you an audition for those roles. Usually they just get notices printed or sent to them by email or whatever way they use through these casting websites I told you about earlier. They then submit you or whomever on their roster that they feel fits that particular role to the casting directors. Then they get a reply back whether they get an audition or not. That's their function, and then they negotiate. If they do want you to play that role, they want to book you, the agent is the only one who can negotiate that fee and other conditions. There's other things that get negotiated, things like where your credit goes on the screen, your name, what kind of trailer you have. There's all kinds of things you can negotiate. And so agents do that for you. But they don't really build your career. A manager is more someone who does that in the United States. In Canada, there are no managers that I know of anyway. That's more of a person who does that. So it's really on your side of the game that you create your career and you go out and connect with people and start to decide, I will take that role, I won't take that role, that kind of thing. Shape your career. An agent is more like they hunt down people who are doing well, right? These big agencies like William Morris, they look for people who are doing well and then they scoop them up. Now they do have more access to higher level productions and earlier stages of casting. For example, a producer will go, hey, I want your big star on your roster, and then that agent can go, okay, that's fine, but I'd like you to have cast this guy as well, this lesser known actor that I have on my roster. Things like that high level agents can do. All right, so you're probably not going to get a high level agent, but you can get one who really needs you on their roster, and that's what you want. Because really in selecting an agent, it's more about, okay, are they credible? Yes or no. Find them on the website of the union. That will help. And then do you get along with them? Do they see your future as you see your future? And that's how you would select an agent. That's pretty important because they have to see eye to eye. They also know that it may take longer than you think. They might be cautious about, some things. Yeah, we'll get you in a big movie next week. Don't believe that. I mean, if they do, great. But that's kind of an odd thing for an agent to say. They know it takes time. You have to get to know the casting people. The casting people have to get to know you. They have to trust that you actually show up on time on set and you're not a problem and all that stuff. There's a lot to it. So you build that with time and reputation. But that's what you do to get an agent, and you should get one at some point, definitely.